Hi, David Odell here with OdellCompleteConcrete. This is the first day at the job site, and this is another driveway widening, and we're doing a little side yard patio addition. This is what it looks like when I arrived. It had a little pop-up drain there that kind of brings the water from the backyard to closer to the front. And the reason that drain was in there, you can see the drain right here sticking up that little green grate there. Well, that's where the water goes in, and then it just goes to where the concrete starts right there, the other side of that AC, and it pops up over there. The reason they put that in is because this dirt was so high, it was actually creating a dam, so the water couldn't just naturally flow out of the backyard. It had to go through this drain and then bubble up down there at the low end. I actually shot this in with my laser level, and we actually have 3 inches of slope of just natural grade from the existing back patio to where this existing concrete on the side yard starts. So that's plenty of slope in this distance. We've got about 25 feet, and I've got about 3 inches slope. It'll definitely run out of here. But yeah, that's why the water didn't run. It was just a big hump of dirt in here. You can see we had to remove quite a bit, about 6 inches deep of dirt, just to get that dam out of there. So we're going to be pulling this drain out as well. I think he's got a 4-inch drain in there. It's going to all come out, and then the water is just going to naturally run right over the surface. On the pour of this job, I'm going to be using a new tool I just got, and it's a Milwaukee Red Stick. It's basically a level that's specifically designed for rotting concrete, and checking the level as you do it to make sure that it's sloping the way you want it to. And it's very durable, it seems to be. But I'll show you that a little closer as we get into the pour of this project. Also, we have another separate video of the particular tool in action, kind of a tool review. That's another video though altogether. Now here's the laser level that I'm using just to make sure that we've got enough slope out of this yard without having to install a new drain system. So we got all that drain out of there. Now we're snapping some chalk lines on the wall, and then we can really fine tune the grade. We just kind of eyeballed how much dirt we had to remove to start with, just enough dirt out of here so we could actually get a chalk line on the wall. And once that happens, we can run a straight edge from side to side, from wall to wall, and then check our depths. Well, we thought we had enough dirt out. Once we snapped lines, we didn't have enough dirt out, so start the process again, removing more dirt. Now we've got the backyard kind of fine-tuned on the grade, and now we're moving out here to the front yard, driveway addition. And we will be doweling everything in, so we'll drill holes around the driveway, the existing concrete on the side yard. That way they can't separate from each other, or they can't lift or drop. They'll just stay nice and tight together, both separate slabs. This dirt's pretty soft, surprisingly. My guess is that they didn't pull up cars very often on this side, because when you get a lot of car activity, on the grass along the side of the driveway, or whatever happens to be on the side of the driveway, it wheel rolls it and the dirt gets extremely hard. So it doesn't look like they've rolled up on this side very often, so we were able to stick a round point right into the ground. We found the cable box down here. It was buried underneath the grass. Also, they notched the top lid on the cable box. That way they could run the cable out of the top instead of out from underneath the bottom. That saves you a little digging when you do that, but it doesn't look that good when they're exposed. So what I had to do is remove the box, take the cable and put it and move it to the bottom of the box, and then put the lid back on and flush it up to the top of concrete. Well, that big landscaping rake that I use really gets it flat quick. Now I'm just setting a 2x4. I have some wood stakes. Wood stakes is all you need in this area because the dirt it doesn't have a lot of rocks in it. Now if we had a lot of rocks in it, you'd have to use steel stakes. Nice thing about wood stakes and some of this stuff is if you do happen to hit a sprinkler line or any kind of line, you can usually feel it with a woody rather than driving a steel stake right through it and not know it until you know, you turn the water on or something, then you find out pretty quickly. Okay, so we're using some 1-inch minus rock on this, and we're wheelbarrowing it in. This is just basic 2500 psi big rock. We're not using any steel in here, but we do have fiber mesh. This big rock's a lot more crack resistant than your pea gravels for obvious reasons. Typically it's a lot harder to crack through rock than, you know, a big rock rather than pea gravel, because pea gravel, the rocks are so small the cracks can go around the rocks, whereas this you have rocks overlapping, so it's a lot more crack resistant. I don't know if you noticed, but those new red sticks I used, this was the first job that I used them on, and they were nice. Should have got one of those a long time ago actually, but I think they're relatively new. A new item. Now we just tailgated the front out here. We're not even using a tamp on this. The reason we didn't use a tamp here is because of the slope. I mean, it can be done. I tamp stuff on bigger slopes than this, but if you don't need to tamp it and you're getting to lay down with just a bull float, then there's no need. Actually, you get a stronger surface with the rocks closer to the surface. A lot more scratch resistant. If you get a lot of the cream up on top, it's a lot easier to scratch and mess up the surface. When the rock's up there, it's just stronger. Although we could tell a difference because we did tamp the backside yard, and then when we went out here on the knee boards to do our final trowel pass, you could tell a difference. It was much easier to trowel the back where it had been tamped versus the front yard where it hadn't been tamped. The rocks kind of like to kind of pop up, so you got to put a lot more pressure on your trowel and hold it flatter on these areas that weren't tamped. You can call them, some people call them jitterbugs. They also have rolling tamps. Rolling tamps are easy because you don't have to walk through the mud. You just put them on poles and roll it out. We're going to hand tool these joints in here. I do a lot of saw cutting for control joints, but this job was small enough. There wasn't that many joints, so we were able to put them all in the same day. There's the red stick I was talking about. And we checked the slope too as we went through here just to make sure the water was draining. Now if it wasn't, we could cut it and move it around a little bit, you know, while we go through, while at this stage where it's not too hard yet. Here's your final pass on your concrete. Hand edger, a couple different size trowels. You've got your burner trowel, and then you've got your big trowel just to smooth it up. The small trowel is nice at the final stage because you can work the cream up, and then you can run your big trowel just to give it your final right behind it. Here's your non-slip broom finish with a 50% nylon, 50% horsehair broom. There's your joints. Looks like that wall needs to be stuccoed a little bit. That's from that dirt being high for so many years along there. Just creeped up the wall and the stucco fell off. At this angle you can kind of see the slope on that too. It's kind of a nice camera angle there. This is a good close-up of the edges. Now I'm just kind of cleaning up the excess that kind of gets in between where the two meet. And we'll strip these forms right now, and we'll also backfill it with some dirt I saved from the dig. Now I've also instructed the homeowner to keep this wet, so about 30 minutes after I leave he continues wetting it down for the first 3 days, and then it's pretty good after that. Also, I wanted to mention I have some hand cream that we designed specifically for concrete hands. That if you get cracks in your hands or if you do a lot of outdoor activities, this hand cream my wife designed for me for that reason, so you got to check it out. You can get to it through my storefront on my website, or you can find it through the descriptions on the YouTube page. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.